Hello everybody once again, this is AikawaKazu, welcome back to another Tree of Savior video. I know this is very late, but as I mentioned, if you watch my other videos, I was away in reservice for 2 weeks, and then after my reservice I had a very bad sore throat, fever, flu, cough, everything bam hit me, and I managed to recover so that I can bring you guys this video today. And as per the title, this is like knowing my build. This is knowing my Ranger2 Wugushi2 Falconer Cannoneer Build right here, and I actually recorded a 50-minute to 1 hour-ish video 2 weeks ago that I wanted to upload before I actually went for reservice, but I didn't think that it was concise enough because it was too long. So this one I'm going to make it short. I'm going to share with you 5 main points, my overall thoughts about the class, aka TLDR, on the pros and cons of what I have here. We'll talk about the skill build, we'll talk about an alternative skill build which actually involves a different path in terms of the class choices that you choose. We'll talk about our stat build, alright, we'll talk about some misconceptions, and then we're going to talk about finally two-hand bow or crossbow plus dagger or crossbow plus pistol. Alright, let's not speak too fast here. So what is the Archer AR2W2FC? Okay, so I call it a Falconer, whatever, it's a stupid name. In any case, what is this build good for? Number one, it is very good for soloing, especially if it is your first character. Why? It is not equipment based. You can use a two-hand bow up to 200 onwards. I have never touched an RD dagger on my Wugushi at all, because what you want to have is as high base physical damage as possible, and at the start when you do not have all this RD dagger whose attribute damage do add to the poison damage to do as a Wugushi, you don't get that at the start. So this is an excellent first character to have because it does not depend on equipment. So why is it good as a first character as well? It's good for soloing bosses. You can solo level 90 dungeon, you can solo level 130 dungeon. This gives you the RD dagger and Pentamion solo rushes if you want to do it, or you can do a party rush with people in public, and that will be cool as well. So very good for solo boss killings if you want to use a character. Like, you can use this character to jumpstart your second character that will be your main, that you will actually fund when you start with this character here. Alright, so it's a very good solo dungeon character. It is actually a decent world boss class. Unfortunately, Wugushi's poisons do not stack. They cancel out each other. So Wugongu can stack 2 debuffs, I'll talk about that later, okay, but neither blow and the other dots that you have, they do not stack. Which means if there's another Wugushi in the scene of the world boss, your contribution will be overwritten by him or her and vice versa. Which means that you will not be able to be top 6 DPS, even though you could possibly be if there were no other players out there. But again, it is not that good for world boss as well, because for the lower level world bosses, you do not possess burst. You have just very good damage over time. Very consistent, very good damage over time. So, you know, when I first started killing Dullahan when there's no world boss hoarders, I could actually get top 6 DPS on my Wugushi pretty consistently and easily until another Wugushi came by. So what this means is that this build is actually a very decent single target DPS class, which is one of the pros, which brings you to think that, you know, the cons could be that it has very bad AoE, but it does not have bad AoE. You have your Ranger Barrage to help you deal with your AoE, you have your Trogu Pot to help you deal with your AoE, and if you know how to use your Wugongu infection debuff properly, you will be able to AoE well as well. So this class is good single target and decent AoE. And last but not the least, my last point for this class is that its synergy with a linker is amazing. But Kazu, any other class that links that plays with a linker is awesome? No, that's not true. A quarrel shooter tree and a linker does not work very well, because even though quarrel shooter trees can shoot very fast on a single target, the additional numbers damage that you see that pops up as a quarrel shooter tree with your Kafrison, your Sacrament, you know, with your running shot, those damage are not added to the targets that are linked. And I'll show you guys why. Alright, a short video clip here, why Wugushi has such good synergy with a linker, and while we're watching I'll explain it. So we have this thing called Wugongu, which is a skill that has this infection, this very interesting infection debuff, as in where the target is first affected by Wukonggu. If that target is hit by a physical attack one time, the poison will actually spread to a target beside it, or actually quite a small AoE around it once. So imagine if a Cataphract comes in and then he uses multi-hit skills like 10 hits, that means the poisons will actually spread 10 times. So why this is good with a linker? Because number one, if you link all the 10 targets, if you're linker 2, all 10 of those targets will get the initial Wukonggu, i.e. they will all be considered as initial Wukonggu targets. And then if you hit one of those targets, they actually get a double Wukonggu debuff. That means you will see 2 purple Wukonggu icons on the targets, which means you get 2 very strong damage over time skills on that target. Which means if you are doing dungeons, basically it's very simple. You see a pack of monsters, you link, you Wukonggu, they're dead. Almost within 3 seconds. That's how strong it is. But you need to know that after you link them and then you cast Wukonggu, remember to use one auto attack to trigger the double debuff. Alright. So the other reason why it's so good is because for other classes where the 10 link targets do share the damage that they take, the amazing thing about Wukonggu is that the 10 initial targets that I told you will get the initial Wukonggu, they can then spread their poison to surrounding targets as well. So instead of linking 10 targets with a Wugushi and linker, you have a potential of linking 10, 20, 30 targets as long as those 10 initial targets have been hit by a physical attack, which makes it a super good AoE class if you have a linker. So I'm sure you have seen a lot of those video clips on how the link and then you just see Wukonggu and then bam bam bam, things like that. So that's another strong thing about this build. Alright, so just to summarize, strong single target DPS, very good for soloing in dungeons and missions. You can literally solo the missions, which I'll show you at the end of this video, which is what I'll end with, which is a solo run, the Sao Liai dungeon run, where I cut out most of the annoying and waiting portions, but you'll see the gameplay at the end. Alright, so don't worry, I got you guys covered. Okay, so it's basically a very good single target DPS class, a great AoE, or decent AoE by itself, and great synergy and AoE with a linker in dungeons, and then a decent world boss class because of its single target nature, and with your Falconer and Cannoneer you can do great burst DPS and great AoE damage at the end. So the Falconer and Cannoneer at the end helps you cover or further boost your lack of AoE and helps you do great bursts at the end, which I'll explain by going on to the skill build. Alright, so let's take a look at the skill build right now. One moment please. Let me just bring it up real quick. Here we go. So the skill build, alright, it's very simple. For the archer, it's kind of a no-brainer here. It's up to you whether you want to max the oblique shot, but I'm going to talk about key skills here. Okay, I'm going to talk about key skills. You're going to max steady aim, barrage, overhit 3 charges, excellent for leveling and dungeons in the beginning. With level 50 dungeons, you can actually do great DPS with it. You want to learn critical shot level 1 at least, alright? This is actually very good. I'll talk about it later on when we talk about crossbow versus two-hand bows, alright? And then what you want to do as Wugushi is to always max your Wukonggu first. What you want to do is to add Wukonggu level 1, Needle Blow level 1, and then max Wukonggu followed by Needle Blow. Then save points for Throw Gu Pot, but this will be how it looks like at the end. This is how I added it because you have extra points. And then for Falconer, you can add Circling first. Some people say that there's no need to get Circling level 5 because of the AoE defense ratio of monsters do not go above 3, but you never know when they update the game later on. So just get it level 5 and you'll have 5 spare skill points. Up to you where you want to put it, but Call and Roost is what you want to do. Basically, what they do is that when you use Circling, your Falcon will actually fly away and you want to use Call to get him back before you use Circling again. If you use Circling without the Falcon being close to you, nothing will happen. Alright, so it's something that you need to get used to. And finally, Cannoneer, why this is so good is because with Shoot Down, there's an attribute called Falling. Flying type monsters hit by Shoot Down will fall on the ground for 4 seconds per attribute level. From level 2 onwards, the duration decreases by 1.8 seconds per attribute level. Basically what this means is 4 times 5 is 20, and then you need to take 4 times 1.8, which is, I believe, 7.2 seconds. So in the end, you have effective 12.8 seconds of downtime if you max the falling attribute. Why this is good is because you have your Elementalist tree, Wizard tree friends with their Frost Cloud that cannot hit flying targets, but if you shoot those flying targets down, literally they are shot down, and then the Frost Cloud can actually hit. So this provides utility, but of course, targets that are hit by shoot down will take additional damage from cannon shot, which actually means that, because you know, damage is half against airborne enemies, right? What it does is that, what I see right now is that the damage is twice as much, which brings it back to the same damage. I mean, the damage before it's halved. Basically, that's what it does, alright? And then Cannon Blast is just a very good burst DPS skill, especially when you get the Cannon Blast enhancement up to 100. This is a sick burst DPS skill. So that's the skill build very quickly here. But of course, there's the alternative skill build that I mentioned earlier on, which is this, the Ranger2 Wugushi2 build. This is a very popular build in Korea Tree of Savior. Why do I say that? The main weakness with the Wugushi class is its weakness, is its uselessness or its inability, alright, let's use the right words here, inability to PvP, because if I use Wugongu and the Wugongu shot itself is blocked, nope, no poison. Same for Needle Blow, which means that if you're fighting against any warrior class that can block, life sucks for you. And then of course with Plague Doctors that can actually prevent level 1 debuffs. Unfortunately, poison is a level 1 debuff. Your poisons cannot hit shit. So PvP wise, Wugushi, if you actually want to go Wugushi, it's not a PvP class anymore. So it's a PvE build. I forgot to mention this at the start. TLDR, this is a PvE build. Pure PvE in fact. Same for the Ranger2 Wugushi2, except for Ranger2, you have your stone shot to try and stun someone so that they cannot actually pop their stuff to, like, you know, they cannot drink antidote. And then after you stun them within that 4-second duration, if I remember correctly, you can just drop 2 poison and trust me, people melt when they get poisoned. Neither blow Wugongu enough, they're dead. Done. Within 3 seconds, even the healer will die. Or unless the guy go full con, most people will die within 2 seconds. Why? Because poisons tick every 0.5 seconds, so in 2 seconds there's 4 ticks. Right now my poisons hit for 2.5 per second. Alright, so you imagine that times 4 times 2, that's 20k damage the guys did. So kinda makes up for the lack of PvP here for the people here. So you kinda have a best of both worlds, but of course you don't. As always, as I mentioned to my friends in Tree of Savior, what you want to do is try to specialize. But of course, Ranger2 Wugushi2 build is super good for missions because the golem takes additional damage from poison, and then you have your running shot to do damage. So about stat build, right? So stat build, what I want to do for my current build is you want to go full strength kinda. So it's about 230 points in strength and 79 points in con. This will bring you 15.2k HP, good for Earth Tower, good to go for Earth Tower. Without any equipment, of course, that means it'll be higher, so you have kinda a leeway. And then 230 points will bring you at 478 strength, which will bring you to 758 physical attack without any weapons. Alright, so this is the build that I went for. Because why misconception time, boys? Poisons cannot crit. So for those poor souls that actually went the Ranger2 Wugushi2, I'm so sorry for your soul if it went Dex build because I have no idea. I don't know, someone went to do this experimental Ranger2 Wugushi2 build and it destroyed many people's lives and time. Especially if they went full dex because your poisons will hit for... I just feel bad. Feels bad. Alright, feels bad. Alright, feels very very bad. Okay, poisons do not crit. Okay, so if you go Ranger2, I have no words. Alright, and trust me, my friends and I have seen a number, quite a significant number of Ranger2 Wugushi2 builds. Even if you went full strength, I don't know. Alright, I really don't know. Because, yeah, I don't know. You do what you love to do, alright? Which brings us to our final part of this guide, which is two-hand bow or crossbow plus dagger. Alright, give me a moment please to bring up a very good infographic which I've done beforehand. Alright, but basically, in most cases at the beginning, if you're not funded, alright, when you're not funded, okay, when you're not funded, wait, what? What's going on? Okay, I'm so sorry, but I need to bring up paint. Somehow I can't preview this picture. Hey guys, do not laugh, alright? Do not laugh. This is effort being done as if an image, okay? So let's bring that down. Oh shit. Okay, so you can see, alright, one thing about how poisons work is that it is just based off your physical base damage, but the elemental property attack is added to every poison take, which means when you want to calculate what's the most effective weapon build to go for, as you can see, Karacha Crossbow 249.5 plus the RD Daggers 153 only gives you 402.5 combined quote-unquote P attack. Viper on the other hand has 406. Alright, if you add the elemental property damage with the average base damage of the bow. And if you look at the superior, man, how do I pronounce this? Crushed. Okay, we're just gonna call it the SKS, alright? SKS plus RD Dagger is 499.5. Which means Karacha Crossbow is overrated for Wugushi. You don't need a Karacha Crossbow. You can just go for the level 220 SKS and you get 499.5. But of course, Karacha Crossbow plus Mana with the 278 elemental property damage will give you 527.5. But wait a minute, if you go to SKS, which is actually a common weapon, you get 624.5 if you have a Mana. In other words, you can just get a Viper and you're good to go until 220. You can farm the level 200 dungeon for years. Just kidding. You can farm the level 200 dungeon until you get Mana, and then just get a 220 crossbow. You get an effective 624.5 quote-unquote physical attack, which is kind of the best right now until you get a better crossbow that is level 220 and above. Alright. So I think if you're going the Core Shooter 3 Wugushi 3, you're looking at the Grand Cross upgrade to the better Grand Cross version, the 240 version one. And I mean the one that's from the level 240 dungeon. If I'm not wrong, it's the Saulius Convent. It's not really a dungeon but a mission. So that's where you want to get a better shooter for that, you know, Core Shooter 3 skills plus 3. Or was it plus 2? I can't remember if it's plus 2 or 3. But basically that's very important for you if you're going the QS3 Wugushi 3 build. Alright, so we now come to the overall gameplay. Alright, we're going to do the Sauli mission just to give you guys a few of what we want. I mean, what a few of the class. Okay, alright, so we have this poison pot thing, it appears here. Okay, you can use insect parts, shells, the kind of stuff you use, but in the end you'll just rely on this venom vial thing, which costs 750 gold per, and it gives you 200 poison every time. So yeah, poison crafting, and then you can also use the card. I have the Mentison card, but unfortunately for Wugushis out there, really the card doesn't provide, it's not worth it basically. And so far I got my card to level 6 and I don't see a significant change. Alright, and for Wugushi, right, it's very important that you actually go for this one. This is actually super good. Alright, I'm going to cheat right now and get myself a buff. Look at this. Increases the P attack, which indirectly increases your poison dot damage. Alright, and later on you will see the damage I can do. Alright, later on you'll see the damage I can do. But basically this is one of the most worthwhile buff for Wugushis. Okay. Wait, so technically speaking I should use the superior, I should use the SKS, right? I should use the SKS and RD is 499.5. Yeah, it's 30 more than Viper, but never mind, we buffed the Viper already. I think in this case the Viper is probably better because the Viper is a purple grade weapon, and purple grade weapon gets more benefits when you enhance stuff. It's actually based on the stars of your weapon when you do the weapon enhancement for weapons, for those who don't know from Squires. So weapons that are better grades actually, you know, I get 66 guys, and oh, another envoy advance 32, I get plus 90, holy shit. Alright, so this is the most annoying part about the whole Saudi solo mission, because this is one of the sad parts, because you don't actually auto attack. This is not an auto attack class, so it's quite sad. As a Wugushi. Alright, so we're gonna do my Falcon. That's my Falcon. I don't use it at all. Okay, so L. Wait, I'm waiting for the countdown. So I don't waste any second, you know. Well, a few things when I got my Falconer is that you don't need to fit your Falcon. You can see my Falcon is 0 stamina, but it actually doesn't matter. Oh no. So you can see it's like 3 per. This is so sad, right? Maybe I can take this chance to show you guys how the Wugongu actually works. So you cast on one guy, you can see it's spread to 2 guys, but you can see this is one of the cons. Alright, one of the cons. Oh yeah. There we go. Cannon blast, boys. Cannon blast. So what I usually do is I actually just kill everything first, then I go ahead and do the, you know, go ahead and do the furniture, because I just want to get harassed by these guys, you know. I don't want to get harassed. Okay, I need to call my Falcon back. He's home. Let's try this. Never seen this kid before. Oh, look at that! 1k damage, man! Whoa! 10 out of 10. And he flies away. Boom. And for those who didn't know, just a little tip. If you actually tap your Z, your auto attack button, alright, you shoot faster. You actually auto attack faster. It actually works for wizards as well, or any class that auto attacks. This should be the last batch already. This is actually gonna take a while. I actually do not know how long I take to solo this. Hopefully not too long. Then before the video is 1 hour again, oh no! Don't worry, I'll cut out the boring parts, alright? Okay, let me just lock on the target. Oh yeah, so we bring ourselves to con number 2. See, I start to remember now because I don't actually I don't main this character anymore. This is my character for farming bosses. You have a mana issue, alright? I mean, the mana pots they give you at the start is probably going to help you out, honestly speaking. So, you'll find that you'll have some mana issues in the sense that you actually need to bring empty pots. But the condense, you know, this one, you can see if I hold down Z, it's actually slower. But if I move and shoot, it's faster. 30 times more. We're getting there, boys! Getting there. I should be able to show you guys the circling plus Wugongu later on the boss to spread the infection, or just circling with multi-shot so that you guys can see. What you do as a Falconer Cannoneer or Falconer Wugushi is that to spread your Wugongu fast without a linker, you are looking at yeah, you can see this is actually the gameplay really. That's it, guys. As a Wugushi, that's what I do. Drop 2 dots! Jump around the boss! Look at this. It's got a damage, man. Alright, we're gonna have some swag here, do some jump dodging to look good, you know. Alright, so I think this is time to show you guys how circling actually works. Okay, it's gonna roll first. You can see there's a bunch of monsters around the boss. Okay, let's do circling. Oh! Close. Wait, I need to jump dodge. I think it's too late already. Come on. You can see, yeah, they got infected by the multi-shot. So you actually do multi-shot. Alright, you do multi-shot on the target that has the Wugongu and it spreads for you. It's one of the fast ways to do it. Let me just kill all these things, get the overkill because I have my steady aim. So this is where the Ranger 2 synergy comes in with your build. And your throw group will help you. You can see that those explosions is actually the Mantisan card. Alright. You can see you die relatively fast. I don't have my Pentami on right now. I actually passed it to my core shooter tree, so rip. Call my guy back. Why must he do it every time? Now you can see, look at that spread. But of course, like Cannoneer, you don't do that anymore. Who needs to do that? Dying actually, to be honest, relatively fast. I'm actually surprised at the speed myself since I haven't touched my Falconer for a fair bit. I'm trying to tap target to the right thing. Oh yeah, one sad thing about Barrage is that every single arrow is only considered to be one. I mean, no matter how many arrows that you see for your Barrage, it's considered one attack, which is very, very sad, to be honest, because it doesn't allow you to spread your, you can't use Barrage to spread your Wugongu, which is a shame, to be honest. Get infected. It's running away, look at that. He's so scared. Alright, so I'll be cutting out the defense part and I'll show you guys the... Well, I think this is enough, to be honest. This is essentially the gameplay for my current build. I don't think I need to show the last two because it's essentially it's kind of the same thing unless you want to watch this solo bit, which I don't think you guys want to extend the video anymore. It's going to be about 30 minutes. So yeah, I think that's about it. It's a short, quick build guide on knowing my build, which is knowing my character. Again, I'm going to summarize, guys. TLDR, excellent first character, not equipment dependent. Great single target DPS, as you can see. Great, or rather decent AoE. Super good synergy with a linker, and always remember how the Wugongu infection works. Alright, and finally, when you get a Falconer Cannoneer, you'll be good to go in terms of AoE. And remember, alright, remember that poisons cannot crit. Come on, guys, tell your friends out there, poisons cannot crit. My name has been AikawaKazu. Thanks for watching once again. I hope this video has helped you. If it did, make sure to stomp the like button, share with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. It lets me know. Thanks for watching once again. God bless, and I'll see you guys and girls in the next video. Take care. Goodbye. And again, sorry for it being so late. Goodbye.